YouTube. It's Christine with Souls Arising, jumping in with some collective messages for the upcoming full moon lunar eclipse that is happening in the beginning of next week. This message is for my fire signs. So if you are a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, you will want to stick around for your message. If you're not a fire sign, pop over to my channel. You will find your messages over there. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. It helps the video actually to get out to other people who might benefit from the message as well, and it helps the channel to grow. If you are wanting to stay informed of when new content comes out, you can be the first to know by also subscribing to the channel. That way you'll get notifications whenever I put up new videos. So without further ado, let's jump right in to your messages, fire signs. So it's so funny, like before I started the video, I just was tapping into your energy and I like immediately got that song Fireball right in my head. And I kind of feel like that's you, fire signs, right now as we're heading into the new zodiac year, starting with Aries season coming up here. And I know that we've got this full moon lunar eclipse, which then, gives us a transition window into the new moon solar eclipse. So this is a powerful time as well. It's a transformative time. But what I was getting is that my fire signs, I feel like you guys have had some tough readings. I feel like the last few alignments have been a little tricky for you guys the last couple months. And like you were really kind of almost at war within yourself, or really sort of struggling or almost in resistance. And this time I get a really different vibration from you. And I actually feel that for a lot of you, you're taking your power back over a situation. So maybe you felt sort of powerless about something, and now I feel like you're making a power move. Like you're deciding no more of this. I'm not letting this control me anymore. I'm not going to give this so much power over me anymore. And so I actually feel like a lot of you are in this process of like detoxifying something from your life that maybe you've determined isn't right for you or isn't good for you. So if you were in resistance to that before, you may have come to terms with it now and you're ready to let something go. For others of you, it could just be, something as simple. It could be a habit or a pattern. Like maybe you've decided like, oh, I'm eating too much junk food and I'm going to eat healthier now. And I feel really great about it. And I'm really excited about it. And bam, I'm like doing it and you're going to jump to it. All right. It doesn't have to be some grand thing. For others of you, it could be something really big, like letting go of a relationship or of a home, or, letting go of a job, releasing a career. It could be something more transformative as well. So it'll vary from person to person since this is a collective message, but the energy is still the same around this. And it's you stepping into a power position. It's you really taking that power back over this situation. And sometimes that is about acceptance, right? It's about understanding what aspects of the situation are actually within our control and power to change and what aspects are not, so that we can free ourselves, so that we can free ourselves to move forward, free ourselves to move on, knowing and seeing the situation in truth as it actually is. Whereas I feel like before, what kept coming through for a lot of my fire signs was sort of not wanting to see truth, or sort of in resistance to some of the truth of a situation. The acceptance may be allowing you now to see what you need to do about it. When we accept that this is what is, now we go, okay, then where does that leave me? What do I need to do next, right? So that's a really great place to be in. I also feel like some of you are deciding what is and isn't good for you right now. So some of you are sort of in this place where you're able to look a little more clear. I do feel like for most of you, whatever was fogging you guys up before, I feel like it's really lifting. And if it hasn't lifted yet, it could be that it's this full moon lunar eclipse that is lifting it for you. If you haven't seen it yet, I kind of feel like this eclipse window is going to show it. It's going to really help you show up. It's going to really help you see it really clear and help you move into this place of power. So if you're not quite feeling what I'm describing yet, I think that's probably what's on its way in with this eclipse window. And that'll be from beginning of next week to April the 8th, just a heads up. So some of you are just sort of figuring out like, you know, this is what I want and this is what I don't want, or clarifying. This is good for me and that's not good for me. And that is a power position too. That gives you power. It allows you then to make moves, to take action. And I kind of feel like that's where a lot of you are now. You're ready now to take some type of action that maybe before you were sort of stuck because you weren't sure what to do, or you weren't able to see all the pieces of something yet, or you weren't sure how something was going to pan out. And so you kind of had to wait, or you didn't feel like you had power to take those steps. So let's pull some oracle cards and see what else we can get about this. Overall, it's an exciting energy. Like, I feel excited. I feel some excitement around this. It has a good, like, you guys, I feel like you guys just like to take action. You don't like stagnancy. You do not like sitting still, and taking action feels better than doing nothing. And so I feel like for some, it just is relief to know what to do now, finally, about a situation that maybe before you just were confused or lost or not sure of. All right. So we have Bluebell Fairy, gratitude. And I feel like this is you guys. Like, as soon as I saw this girl is like flying high. I feel like some of you are feeling so good to sort of be out of that more stagnant, stuck place. And it's like, no stopping you, no holding you back. There's definitely, this fits with some of that excitement. And also maybe just gratitude for like, okay, maybe even if the situation isn't what you want it to be, it's like, okay, but I'm glad I saw that now. I'm glad that I see where things need to go now. And with this, there's beauty. So some of you, this may also be like I said, deciding whether things are good for you or not. I also feel like sometimes that's about deciding that you want something that is honoring of you, meaning you see your own worth and beauty and you value yourself enough to make a change. And so we have this Wood Nymph card, which is a card of beauty. Not only is that girl with that fiery red hair, like totally in her power there, but she's basking in her own glow. She is allowing things to be. She's sort of relaxed. See how open her arms are? I feel like there's this allowing energy. It's like, I'm not fighting this anymore. I know my truth. I know my value. I know who I am. And it's okay. It's all okay. And if something needs to go from my life, that's okay. And if something good is coming in, that's great. I'm ready. Okay. And I just feel like this is a much better energy for you guys and maybe where you were during the last full moon. So that's fantastic progress for you guys to have made. And I'm also being pulled now, see her arm is kind of over there near that lotus. That pretty, it actually is a yellow lotus. Okay, so that's interesting because we're talking about solar plexus stuff here. And the solar plexus represents our personal power and confidence, and its color is yellow. And I really feel like you guys are opening up that solar plexus right now. Your reading is also kind of similar to what came through for my water signs. So I just did the water signs video, and they had kind of a similar energy of that this eclipse is actually helping them come more into their authentic power, more into who they really are. And it's like allowing you guys to become a little more decisive, okay? Whereas before you might have been stuck in inaction or trying to force something forward that wasn't working. And instead of getting stuck around that, now I think you've discovered where your true power lies, and you're going to make a different choice that's actually frees you from the situation. And right after that, I've got Purification, Pine Spirit. And I just get refreshing, with this card. It really feels like a clearing out for you of that older energy or that stuck resistant energy. I just feel like this is again, with detoxifying, letting go of any stagnation, anything that you've decided and determined isn't really worth your time and effort anymore. This is helping you clear it. So this energy of the full moon lunar eclipse is going to help clear any remaining, remnants maybe from the past that need to go. It's going to help me clear them out. Then we've got Hummingbird Spirit, Joy. Again, with what a beautiful card, right? Joy, excitement, and also I see in this card, the hummingbird is really going after the nectar on that gorgeous flower there and enjoying that. And I feel again, this is you going after what you really want, but that you've learned that there's maybe a better way to get it. You've discovered that maybe the way you were pounding your head against the wall before wasn't working, and now you've decided, but I can still have it. I just have to take a different path to get there, right? Or maybe there was something you had to release or let go of to get there. And now you have, and this I feel like is you getting what you want. This is you, but it's also like you doing it for yourself. I definitely feel like with this reading, there's a strong energy of it's not about someone else doing this for you or bringing this to you or doing something that you wanted them to do. So if you were trying to get somebody else to like see it your way or do it your way and it wasn't working, some of this coming into your own power is you accepting that that's where they are and not allowing you to free yourself to go get what you want on your own or to find another way there. Okay, whether that's with them or without them, right? But it's you finding your way. You're creating your joy. You're going to create your happiness. You're going to go find it. You're going to get it for yourself. Again, power, like a powerful position to be in. And then we have Mystic Meadow, which is sanctuary. And I just feel like this is all the good stuff. It feels like fairy tale. It feels like, it's like, because you like let go of the resistance and you found your power in this situation, you actually opened up like this better outcome for yourself. Like there's more magic that can come into the situation now for you. So I want to actually jump to tarot. I kind of feel like we're done with the oracle cards for you guys. I actually really want to move into tarot. So there may be some more messages from the tarot for this that'll help it make a little more sense or make it more clear. And I'm using the Vision Quest Tarot. I love this deck. It has a really fantastic energy, but I will say the energy of the cards are definitely different than traditional tarot. So some of them, I will interpret them a little differently because of that, because I will read the energy of the card rather than the figure on the card. But I will tell you what they are in traditional tarot. So those of you who know tarot and love tarot can kind of follow along. All right, so you guys, we have the Father of Earth, which would be the King of Pentacles in traditional tarot. We have the Six of Earth, which would be Six of Pentacles in traditional tarot. This card, this is called the Breakthrough card. We have the Daughter of Earth, which would be the Page of Pentacles in traditional tarot. And the Daughter of Fire, which would be the Page of Wands in the traditional tarot. I really feel like here, like I'm seeing these two cards that came out first, and I really feel like with this King of Pentacles energy, it's like, see how his arms are wrapped around that basket? And again, yellow, right? And he's holding that basket literally in front of the solar plexus. It's filled with yellow, coins or yellow harvest there. And so I'm definitely getting this sense of you in the fullness of your power, but I also feel like this is you owning that power and you really holding it and going, okay, this is the situation. Well, then this is what I'm doing about it. This is what I need to do. Now I know, I feel solid, right? I also feel like there's an element of that with like mastery and taking control of your own, situation, taking control of, your life and what you want for it. And I feel like that's kind of backed up by this breakthrough energy card of Six of Pentacles. It's like, I know what I want and now I'm going to go get it. I know how to go get it. I know what I need to do to get it now. I understand because I have seen the situation with clarity. And I've let go of my resistance, or I'm in the process of letting it go. Some of you might still be a little in that, but I feel for most of you are through it at this point. You're more in your power. And if there's any lingering vestiges of that, trust the full moon lunar eclipse is going to help rip that right out from under you. It will, because that's why we have eclipse energies. They can be, difficult to go through, but they're actually there to help us. It's like when you're stuck, the eclipse energy can actually come in and really shake things around and move things out of us or out of our lives for our highest good. So with this Page of Earth, it's so funny because I'm getting this, like, I hear she doesn't, this may not be for everybody, but my first impression of this card was she's got this on her own and she doesn't need anyone to help her, okay? She's doing it. She's got this. She's like the master of her domain and she knows what she wants. She knows how to get it. It's like, and that might be new energy because we're talking about the page. So it's like she's got these things and she's just starting with this, but she's secure and confident. The look on that woman's face is very like, I've got this. But I actually just heard, for some of you, I heard she doesn't need no man. She don't need no man. She's going to do this. She's got this. And she's secure. She's going to be secure. She knows that she can take this thing that she's got in her hand and she can grow a whole damn garden with it. Okay. So she's going to like grow her own wealth. She's going to make her own way here. And that's a powerful energy, you know, to be in right now. I think for some of you, it might be where you need to be, and maybe it took a little time to get there. And then we've got, because it doesn't feel negative to me, it actually feels like empowering. It feels positive. And then we've got the Page of Wands, Daughter of Fire. And this card to me is a very clearing card, which is interesting because, you know, we had that Pine Spirit Purification card that came out. And I kind of feel like these two energies are very similar. You can actually see this woman in this card is smudging, which is a process of like clearing things away. In fact, in Native American tradition, pine is sometimes actually used for smudging and clearing. So again, this is speaking a little bit to that detoxification of your life energy that's going on, of you maybe acknowledging and finally being ready to release something that was keeping you stuck, or that you were stuck around before. And it could have, you know, it doesn't have to be a thing or a person. It can also be a concept, an idea that you're really stuck on, that you're married to, and that you needed to move on from or let go of in order to bring in new energy. Because also remember, Page of Wands is like new energy, exciting new energy, or maybe finally getting that first glimpse of a new path for yourself, a new way to get there. Okay. And again, the full moon lunar eclipse is only going to help you do that. It's going to help you move that old stuff out, the fusty stuff, the stuff that's like old and done and over with. And the new moon solar eclipse that comes on its heels on the 8th of April then helps bring in an anchor in the new energy more deeply for you. For some of you, for those of you who really feel like you've really let go already, what I feel like the lunar eclipse will do is sort of just help you feel more solid in it. Just help you really feel more secure in that footing, okay? Like validation, essentially. So let's get some more tarot here. Woo! Wow. Yeah. So we got Two of Water, which is Two of Cups in traditional tarot. Love. Relationship, talking about relationship there, potentially, or partnership. Two of Pentacles, balance and change. Interesting, this card has shown up in at least, I want to say, 3 of these 4 readings. And you can see that contrast with this card, you know, as I'm talking about this really, it's not just about the full moon lunar eclipse. It's also about the new moon solar eclipse that's incoming. And some of these, you know, and I've seen some astrologers mentioning that they, you know, one holds the more masculine energy and the other holds the more feminine energy. And it's really interesting that this card comes out with the Two of Cups here. So I actually feel this may, for some of you, be talking about, even though this is a couples card or a you know, partnership card, I actually feel like for some of you, this is talking about the balancing of your own masculine and feminine energy, so that you yourself, within yourself, this process you've been going through, maybe helping you find balance between your yin side, your softer, more receiving, yielding side, and your more yang energy, which is that like, go get 'em tiger side of like being action oriented and being like, this is what I want, this is what I'm doing, and I'm going after it. And I know some of the readings I had done for my fire signs before, I felt like you guys were almost too much in that yang energy. You weren't in the yin enough. So I feel like the eclipse window might, you know, for those of you that was the case, I feel like the eclipse window may be helping shift you a little more into the yin energy. But either way, I feel like it's going to create more balance. So if you were somebody who was maybe more in the yin energy, you needed to come into that yang energy a bit more, more firmly, then it'll do that instead. So, but this speaks of balance. I also, for those of you that this situation in your life has to do with another person or a partnership relationship, maybe romantic or otherwise, I feel that this is about you seeing and understanding the need for balance, the need for give and take, the need to be yielding sometimes, or to step up sometimes, right? You know, that maybe sometimes we have to meet in the middle on things, or we have to maybe move on from something that isn't balanced so that we can have something that is. So if what you were in resistance about was maybe a relationship that just flat out wasn't working, maybe you're finding more peace because you've come to terms with that, and now you're more in your power, realizing that instead of trying to bang your head against the wall and force someone to be what you want them to be or to do what you want them to do, that you actually get more by accepting and allowing them to be who they are, either because they then step up to the plate and are just easier to deal with and more flexible, or because you then are now empowered to decide to move on so you can find something that is more what you need and more balanced, where there is that give and take between both partners that's better for you, okay? This will be different for different folks watching this video since it's collective, right? So take it as it applies to your situation. And then right after that, we have the moon showing up, which would be the moon in traditional tarot, with the big medicine wheel, which is the wheel of fortune in the traditional tarot. And in this deck, this also speaks to cycles and that cyclical nature of life. Interesting that that's kind of showing up with the yin and yang vibration of that sun and moon card, right? Which again, cycles day and night, right? Male and female, you know, different aspects of a situation, beginnings and endings. If you are ending a relationship, please understand that what that does is opens the door for a new beginning, right? If you're ending one relationship, then you're opening the door for a new one that may be a lot better for you. And so that acceptance might have been needed to facilitate that. For others of you, maybe you're coming into a partnership because you yourself have come into harmony. Your energy is more harmonious. And now a partner, you know, if you are single, this may be actually allowing a really great partnership to come in with that is more fitting for you and what you need, and is able to happen because you're kind of in your power now, and you're not resistant to it anymore. You're not in resistance to something else in your life that needed to go to open you up to receive, right? You know, we do have that receiving energy here, right, with the Six of Pentacles, which has to do with give and take and giving and receiving and having, you know, again, balance with that. So it could be that maybe you've had relationships that were not balanced, and so now you have detoxified that, and you're ready to receive something that is more balanced. I want to pull another card just to clarify with the moon. I do feel with the Wheel of Fortune here that ultimately, whether these changes feel like positive or negative to you right now, I ultimately feel like they are turning things in your favor. So if the changes that are unfolding right now are not your choosing to some degree, or there are things maybe leaving your life that aren't your choosing, or leaving your life with the full moon lunar eclipse that is challenging or just emotional in some way, you know, the moon talks about emotion too, understand that this is being done for you, that this is actually the wheel turning in your favor and allowing movement to happen in your life. And again, it's fitting with what the overall vibe of this reading, which for me is you moving out of stagnation, you moving forward finally after what I feel like is a long period of feeling stuck or feeling like you've been standing still. And with Wheel of Fortune, it does imply like for you, for your highest good, okay? Or this also could be a stroke of luck coming in that you don't see coming. So maybe you've written something off and then something great is kind of happen with this amazing eclipse energy. Eclipse windows are cool too. It's so much energy, so much intensity. We've got endings and beginnings and that cycle happening here again. That can actually also be prime ground for miracles, for unexpected events, for sudden changes and twists and turns of our situation. So things that you couldn't have planned for potentially happening and kind of turning things in your favor. But I want to pull a couple more cards for these two because I want a little more clarity there. Okay, so we have Nine of Earth, Nine of Pentacles, accumulation. Can also talk about independence. So for those of you who had to break away from something, this could be referring to that, referencing that. And then we have Seven of Air, which was Seven of Swords. Now, futility is the word on this card. So in this particular deck, you know, for those of you that kind of resonated with what I was saying about, like, you know, maybe having to walk away from a partnership and finally acknowledging that and seeing that that's actually the power move to make, This can be speaking about like getting your independence from a situation because you realize that it wasn't going anywhere. You realize that it just wasn't worth the time and effort anymore, and you're ready to kind of, you know, move on to get what you want. That's not going to apply for all of you though, right? So for others, I feel like this is you just finally standing up and saying, I'm going to get what I need. I'm going to find a way to get what I need. And if I can't do it through plan A, then let's go plan B. But I'm not giving up on what I want. I'm not letting go of the goal, but I'm okay. Maybe I need to find another strategy to get there. There might be another way to do it, okay? Because maybe what you were doing before just wasn't working for you. For some of you, I just heard this is like seeing that you can actually have your cake and eat it too, okay? So take that if it resonates. One other card, this is kind of weird with the Seven of Swords here. All right, this is not going to pertain for all of you. I asked for a little clarity. I got the Father of Fire, which is the King of Wands, which is mastery of that fiery energy. This also can be you, right? Fire signs, okay? Especially if you're in that more yang energy. Then we have the Ace of Air, Ace of Swords, which is like clarity, understanding, new beginnings. In traditional tarot, this is usually a sword, which I often read as breakthrough, which we already kind of have here with the Six of Pentacles. Actually, has the word breakthrough on it in this deck. Like knowing what you need to do, okay? Which I do feel like you guys either already know what you need to do and you're ready to do it, and the Eclipse Photo might give you the oomph that you need to make it happen. Or if you're not quite sure, I feel like this Eclipse Photo is going to give you that clarity. You're going to get the clarity. For some people, I was getting a distinct read on this that some of you are breaking free from old patriarchal energies. So maybe you had controlling fathers. I very specifically heard controlling males or controlling men, or feeling under the control of men, or feeling, so some of you who are maybe feminines who have felt sort of stifled by a masculine energy in your life, whether that was growing up or maybe that even in the recent, past. I feel like you're breaking free of that. Like you're done with that. You're getting your independence and you're breaking free of it. And maybe you're making plans now to break free of that, making plans to move on from that energy because you no longer feel like it's good for you, or you now see that you can be free of it, that you don't have to put up with it anymore, that you can do things for yourself and do things on your own. I mean, you don't need a man. That was what I got. Remember, I got that with this. Yeah, it's like the same energy. So for those of you who resonated with that when I said that about this card, like this girl doesn't need no man, doesn't need no man. That's showing up again here. But it did come in with a little bit more of a fatherly energy. So maybe you have felt suppressed either by a father figure, or maybe you have a man in your life who is taking on some of those fatherly roles with you and you don't like it and you've kind of been rebelling against it. And now you're just realizing, like, I just don't need to deal with this. Like, I'm ready to move on from this. I don't need that. Or you've healed whatever the father wound was that was drawing that into your life, and now you're ready to move on from it. You're getting free. Free. I will say for me, sometimes I read Seven of Swords as like the get out of dodge quickly card, and we did have this energy of like, coming into harmony, coming into balance, and moving forward, ending a cycle maybe and beginning a new one. So there may be, getting out from that kind of more oppressive feeling with some, either a situation or a person, a relationship, and moving in, getting free of it, moving on from it quickly, and being like, to hell with that, I'm done with that. Let it all burn. I'm done. I'm moving on. Right. In the traditional tarot, Seven of Swords is the guy who's got, an armful of swords. He's sneaking out of camp and the whole damn camp's on fire. Right. So this may actually be you going, like, not my circus, not my monkeys. That's not my problem. That's a storm and I'm not dealing with it. Like, I'm just not dealing with it. Because I don't need to, right? I don't have to deal with this. Like, I have power in my own right. And I feel like for those of you that are coming to this This has been a long time coming. So you may have often felt under other people's thumbs, or often felt like you had to wait for other people, or bow down to other people, or allow other people to take charge for you. And this has been all a process of you learning that you don't have to do that, that you are powerful in your own right, and that you can make the changes that you want in your life, and you can do it in a peaceful way and in a kind way. Doesn't have to be forced. That, sometimes it's about allowing the situation to be and then flowing with it and flowing into your freedom, right? Okay. So I think those are your messages, fire signs. Hopefully this finds you guys really stepping into that nice, powerful place where you can make the change that you've been really craving for and wanting to see. Those are your messages. Take care, guys. I will be back with more videos down the road. Bye.